So we've also got a lure system, so the zombies are actually being lured into the firework there. They're interested by the sound and by the light. And as a result, you can sort of get big groups of zombies and do terrible things to them with explosives. Just going to run over to the pawn shop here.
So another part of our economy is allowing players to sort of actually go to like stores. If you can imagine in a zombie outbreak, the picture here is
What you need? I ain't got all day.
some guys have sort of taken refuge and decided to sell out some of the best things they've found around Fortune.
Just go grab this guy here.
Portal.
Order up!
Give her a good start for it.
Anytime you got money, you're welcome here.
Nessie.
Grind them.
Yeah, and then this one has a secondary attack here. One more time.
No problems with ratings, so.
Like we were saying, guns, we want to make guns better. Grab another weapon from the pawn shop here.
You.
Enough money. I'm gonna grab.
What do you want?
Flamethrower. So here's the flamethrower. Now I could have gone and I could have made this in the game, or if you got the money, if you're playing a money strategy and soak in the casinos for all they're worth, you can just buy the stuff.
Yeah, I'll see you next time, pal.
So we're just going to finish off here with.
I got all day.
Yeah, we're going to finish off here with one last weapon. So this is the IED. Bonk.
Here's your stuff.
So
Ready to
this is a
go.
propane tank combined with nails. And because I haven't earned the card before, I get it if I figure out how to make it all by myself.
Yeah, I got a feeling you'll be back.
So we're going to find that big crowd of zombies that I lured into a group earlier. As you can see, they're all still there. There's no fakery going on. All of the zombie positions are being updated. Nothing's getting sort of thrown out and faked later. And
Oh. Get far back. Get far back.
you ready for this? Find a good spot. And we got 5 minutes left, so I think we're going to end it there. Can we flip back to the PowerPoint, please?
He died. Sweet. And that's about it for us, unless you guys have any questions. Nothing. Nothing zombie related.
Just commenting on the amount of the pawns or entities that you have animating on screen. What could you tell us about the processes that you use to develop that, and maybe some of the challenges of getting that many game assets running on screen and still reaching a really good frame rate?
Right. Maybe a better question for an SE, but it was one of the things that we took very seriously at the beginning of the process of making Dead Rising 2. We wanted tons and tons and tons of zombies on the screen. We wanted bigger, wider open spaces than Dead Rising 1 had, and we wanted to fill those spaces with zombies. So when we did the prototype at the very beginning, that was one of the very first things that we proved out was how many of these guys can we actually get on screen And then the trick after that was actually how do we devise ways to kill lots of them at once?
And when that was achieved early on, the whole like performance and memory pie is sliced and it's rigid. So like through development, if you wanted to add and change that pie, it was not possible. The decision was made, it rules, so it took the largest portion of the pie, and everything else plays second
So
fiddle.
what was the final count? Like, how many pawns did you have on the screen at once?
We hit 6, I think. That was around 6,000 when we wrote it.
Yeah, exact number is not available right now, but we have pushed it pretty hard, and yeah, thousands and thousands.
Yeah, hi. You said you're going to go with a new hero. Me as a player and grown to attach for the first hero, is it possible for us as an unlockable feature or something in the future to play the old hero in the new game?
Can't comment. It was important to us to broaden the fiction, right? We didn't want to just continue the Frank West saga. Dead Rising is a universe. It has multiple characters, so I think you'll enjoy this one as well.
Yeah, and to follow up on that as well, Capcom has a history of doing this, right? With the Resident Evil games, they would introduce heroes at the beginning, and heroes would sort of leave the series and other ones would come in, so it's very much in keeping with the Capcom lineage.
This gentleman right here, I believe, had his hand up first.
Well,
There's a mic for you, too.
my main question was that the game, it's definitely sandbox oriented, where you spend a lot of the time going around and exploring and learning about the mall and killing a bunch of zombies. But in terms of game progression, will the game have a very compelling story element to it as well?
We sure hope so. Yeah, the story was first and foremost, actually, with this. Absolutely. We didn't develop a game, and then at the end of it say, man, what is the story of this? Definitely up front with story.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't say too much about the story at this point. Obviously, with the game being available on August 31st of this year, marketing is ramping up. There's going to be a lot more information coming out very shortly.
One more.
How did you find working with Capcom, being a Japanese developer?
It's actually been awesome. Actually, their sensibilities and approach completely different than I think anything that I've experienced from our development. Their process and everything that they use as a driving force is always completely nothing like we would thought. It's but what's helped us sort of look at game development differently. They are always about what would feel right, and always analogous to kids and experiences like the last one.
Yeah, the example recently was we were talking about a feature in the game, and the analogy was, you know, a kid running through an amusement park, and put yourself in the shoes of that young child and seeing all of these cool rides and cool things to play with. And that's how they look at games, is they look at them from that sort of child urge to have fun and to explore, and that's been really cool. And despite the language barrier, which we thought was going to be a massive problem developing the game for a Japanese publisher, very quickly we realized that a lot of the game language that we use is universal. And you know, video games started a long time ago with Pong and all that. The Japanese sort of took it over for a while in the 80s with Nintendo and Capcom making all the fantastic games back then. And what we found is that sort of the North American and the Japanese way of doing things may differ, but at the core there's this common language of games and what makes games fun. And it's actually been quite easy. Yeah.
Well, a special thank you to both you guys
Cool.
for coming
Thanks.
and giving us